Yeah, and like Upstream Color for me is I mean I don't like it as much as Primer. I'll say that
No,
much.
I don't
Like
either.
I know a lot of people they say that's the better one. I don't think that's true. But I also see like I don't it would have to I would assume this movie has more of a budget than $7,000. You could see it. I mean like some of the I don't know. It's tough for me to tell what the expensive parts of movies, but some of like the water, like coloring scenes of it, I'm just like, that just sounds like a guy who like had some more money, so he did more things. And
Mhm.
I think limitations are good a lot of times. Like coming from like a analog music and stuff for a long time, like in a digital age, if you did like analog music, you were kind of looked at as like Reddit or like, kind of annoying or something like, okay, this guy's, I could make that same thing in a certain amount of time with this DAW or something. But you're like, yeah, but first off, no, you can't. Like it's going to be different. And second off, like I like the limitation. Like it stops me from making my own mistakes a lot of times. And for me, with like Upstream Color, I feel like he tried to make it a more Tarkovsky type movie. This feel like you're supposed to just feel this what's happening. It's not a plot, like it's feel. But then at the end, I'm like, well, no, there was a plot. Like it actually was like kind of a linear plot at the end, I thought. And I'm like, wait, so what are you trying to do with this? That was the one thing I thought whereas Primer, I think it's just like, no, the whole time you're just supposed to be in this like loop with us, and you're supposed to realize how annoying it is to nip. It's almost like a comment. Primer is like a commentary about his process, like almost criticizing his own process. I feel like of just trying to optimize every minute of every part of your life rather than just taking your lumps and losses. I don't know. That's just to me where it's like Upstream Color. It's like, oh, it's a pig farm, but like, what even are the pigs? And you're like, oh no, the pigs, they're a thing, and it's like a thing. And I don't know. This is me.
Yeah. Sai, was that calendar intentional for this show, or
Yeah.
is that just
This is a cute baby animals. It's March, so actually it should be April. It's World Rain, April 3rd. That's a good eye. Yeah, you're.
I know. How did you see that?
I like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Wow, that's a trip. I thought, Upstream Color is just like him with a girlfriend now. It's kind of the way it is.
Yeah.
Like it's just like, he's just, I have a friend, I haven't been in touch with him in a while. He's like super duper smart, great musician too, and all this stuff. And then, he got kind of this girlfriend thing, and you could just tell it was like a different dude, not in a bad way or good way or anything, but it's just, it's just different, it's just like, and like he needed that, and it reminds me of like Carruth is just, I love that he's like a math major too. You could see it. You could for sure.
And everybody's always like, okay, like to be honest, I suffer from this a little bit, not to that degree, but like any new thing of your life is like, let's put this into my work. Like I have a girlfriend, therefore I'm going to make a movie about my girlfriend. And you're just like, all right, cool.
Right,
I'm definitely feeling that now. I just saw a movie called Our Hitler, a film from Germany, and now I'm suddenly like not all about Hitler, but like looking at researching Hitler era stuff. And now I'm like, what if we just had like a Hitler dead body in the basement for this upcoming project? I'm just like, where can I fit Hitler into things now?
It's tough. It's tough, dude. It's tough to not like. I mean, that's what's cool about having a podcast, because all that you have to do is talk about the things that you've seen or like done this. Like that part's cool. But when you're actually like making art or something like that and putting it out there, I just laugh because it's a side clocked it perfectly. It's like now you have a girlfriend, dude. Like now it's making. And I mean, look. The beginning is crazy because you're just like, I thought that like was Shane Carruth the whole time at the beginning, like torturing.
It actually looks too similar to him. That's the best.
Well, I would imagine that was intentional, like that it's kind of supposed to all look like vague or something. Like I thought it was meant to be this big mystery, and then at the end, the whole thing was not a mystery. It was actually like, no, this actually was this weird brainwashing thing where this woman got. I was kind of like, oh, I kind of wanted it to be like all in her head or something, or like some kind of like woman moment, just kind of one of those movies.
That movie was my introduction to Shane Carruth. I blind bought the Blu-ray of it at Best Buy. It was on sale, and I just remember it had like a cool digi case. It looked very different from anything else. It was cardboard and not like the plastic fucking terrible cases that they do. And I watched it and I was like, okay, am I just supposed to like take this whole movie as a metaphor? Like, is this none of this is literal? This is all just like speaking to some greater idea he has cooked up in his head. And it's like, oh no, it's just Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, but mine with pigs. That's it.
To me, I still feel like he's trying to do Tarkovsky. Like I do a lot of times. Like I feel like not like I don't think he's like aping the style or anything, but like I've been at the same time just rewatching a lot of Tarkovsky for like Gain of Fiction and other things, and I just been looking and I was like, oh, he's trying to do that whole like cerebral thing where it's like, no, you're just whatever the weather is, that's the character's mood, just kind of that whole with the water, and it's very similar to the scenes of the water in Solaris and all that, and like the farmer, and just having like this old like alternate setting where it's just this farmer making like analog beats and stuff. Like just I don't know, he's making like lo-fi beats, dude, like on the farm. And I was just like, it's fun. The thing is with Carruth movies, even if you don't like them, I still think they're a fun watch. I feel like you might hate them a little bit more just because you're not as far removed as I am from like somebody's brain that could be thinking that way. I don't know.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. I enjoyed, I'll tell you what, Upstream Color was a much more difficult watch for me both times that I watched it. The first time I watched it and then watching it again today, it just, I struggled to keep my attention with it the same way that, Primer kept me engaged. And I think part of that is that the visual style of Upstream Color feels also very of the time. It feels very Lena Dunham, tiny furniture. We're shooting with very inexpensive cameras that have like a particular look. Like they show fluorescent lights a certain way or something. That just, I don't know. But the style of like the crunchy, gritty 2004, 2005, whatever style of Primer, it's just so of that time, and I find it much more charming than what we get in 2013 with Upstream Color.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm a very cosmic person, spiritual person, and I feel like God might have stopped Shane Carruth from making more movies. I'm not saying like, because I do think like he is a kind of a freak. You know what I mean? Like I don't think I'm usually the first person to be like, oh, a woman's accusing a very successful in his own field person of this. Let's take a look. And I looked and I'm like, nah, he does seem like that type of guy.
But the thing that's interesting with this one is I don't think she said anything publicly about this. She went and got a restraining order on her own, but there was no like, me too, I'm taking down your career.
No,
he did it himself. He posted photos of it just abruptly. Like, I mean, he's clearly
he had a meltdown, dude.
Yeah, he's a troubled guy, but I don't know if he really went off the deep end. I've read mixed reports on Reddit of all places from the subreddit for Shane Carruth that he's hiding out in California, living with his family, and he posted a video, I guess, of him taking down like boxes of soda with a bow and arrow, just using it as target practice. So that's what he's up to now.
Yeah, what's your day-to-day like if you're 2024 Shane Carruth, man?
It's a good question. I'm very curious.
Taking down bottles of soda, dude. Just become a YouTuber, Shane. Like, just start.
That would be great.
Just start. I mean, eventually he'll get canceled again because he'll, or whatever. But yeah, to me, he definitely seems like one of those obsessive dudes. And that's funny. Like any article you read about it, and they're like, and this just speaks to like the male control freak auteur personality, to where like once they lose something, when he loses like sweet, beautiful, what's her name, Maya or something,
Amy,
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, so yeah, it's her. Yeah, once you lose somebody like that, it's it's not part of your script that you brought up in your head. It's like the classic like thing, which I'm sure there's probably some truth to that. But I'm like, dude, at the end of the day, like if you make sick movies. And he's not going to jail. I think they said he got arrested like earlier this year for like violating the restraining order.
Did he? He's still obsessed. Oh no, this is bad.
I gotta check that. I gotta fact check that real fast. But I did see that. Let me see. I think he. That's what I found weird. I was like, dude, still.
Yeah, it's been 5 years.
Yeah. Okay. No. 2022. He got arrested again.
That's still a little too recent, but. That's not great. I mean, I was secretly hoping he was like powering up right now and just gonna catch everyone off guard with Louis C.K. style comeback. But
Louis C.K. It should just be a primer with Louis C.K. trying to reverse history from his thing.
Yes,
that would be sick, dude.
Remaking Primer, that would be the move.
or just doing primer with everybody who's ever gotten canceled. It's like, all right, hey, like, you know, it's like going on Rogan, but you're like going on Carruth. And like, it's like, oh, like you fucked up, you know, like so Polanski, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Polanski as the lead as 85-year-old Polanski, just trying to go back to that one night.
And you pair him with Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
Oh,
Carruth sitting in the box for 10 years because you have to sit in as long as it takes to get back into the time, you know.
Dude, P. Diddy's in the Dominican Republic right now, going like watching Primer right now on the Blu-ray. And he's just
I just saw a video of him hanging out at like a McDonald's or something, just like having a good time, posing for someone's cell phone video. This whole Diddy thing is, I think, very interesting because I feel like they're not really after Diddy. They're either after somebody else or they're trying to protect somebody. That's my feeling.
It's Jay-Z. They're after Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Jay-Z's always been the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like Diddy's like for sure. Like, okay, yeah, Diddy's like everyone knew. There's been documented skits on how weird Diddy is like forever since he's been around. It was like he would always change his name, and like boomer dads would be like the Puff Diddy Daddy dog, you know. They would always say things like that, and then
it's a bit in the Bad Boys video that Ben Stiller shows up at his house and he can't get the name right or something. If I remember right, it's been 20 years.
Is it Ben Stiller? You're right. I forgot. I think it is Ben Stiller. Yeah, and no, I totally remember. That was a classic trope, was white guys showing up at rich black guys' houses just asking questions.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a big, like, it would always be like a Fred Willard kind of guy, you know, just showing up, and then they would just throw him in a dumpster, you know, and just shut up. But yeah, that's I don't know what's up with that. But like with Carruth, I'm always just like, okay, if you're not putting this guy in jail, and let's give this guy money to make movies. Because that's like that might just be the only thing he can do. You know what I mean? Like to me, like, okay, what do you think this guy's gonna do with no movie in his life? We've seen it. He's either at bare minimum he's gonna do archery on like bottles of like Big Red. You know?
Yeah, he comes from like a very, I don't know. According to something I read, and you know, again, this is all Reddit, so take it for what it is. When he originally couldn't get his third film, A Topiary, I think that the name is, off the ground, he got so discouraged, he was like, I'm quitting filmmaking. This was like 2020 or so. This was before he snapped online. And he went back to Texas. I guess he lived in Texas for a period of time before going off to California, and just went back into engineering. So he's like a math genius in his personal life, which is probably also why he snapped.
Yeah.
And then
for sure,
somehow he wound up back in California, hiding, just laying low, according to his brother or somebody. His brother was like tweeting at him like, "Hey, stop, log off.
Dude,
touch grass."
He was tweeting from the Upstream Color account, which honestly, you got to be a total loser to be like tweeting personal stuff from a team media podcast account. Only a loser would do something like that.
Anyways, I totally don't relate to that at all. It's not like I have 3 accounts doing that myself. Yes.
Yeah, it's not like I tweet from the Rare Candy Pod account at all. No loser would ever do.
Nobody
like
ever
that.
Likes and retweets their own tweets on the media account from their personal.
Retarded.
Of course
if you
not.
did that. You'd be a fucking loser. You'd be Anyways, Shane, can't relate.
From the 5 to the 6, we be in the mix. With that red candy paint job on the whip. I need food for the kids, money for the rent.